Hey toy collectors, welcome to The Toy Box, where today we're looking at the Diamond Select Toys Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. That is a mouthful. Before we look at the figure in more detail, let's take a look at this packaging. Right on the front, very broad window on the sides and the top, so you can get a good look at the figure. So if you choose to not open your figure and leave it in the packaging, you can still get a good visual of what it looks like from all angles and enjoy it that way. On the back, you have a paragraph with information about the character, as well as the previously mentioned information about it being 7 inches tall with 16 points of articulation, as well as credit to the designers and the sculptors. On the bottom, you'll see basic information that you'll find on the bottom of pretty much every action figure packaging. And along the sides and on the front, you have some compass and map detail, which is in line with the pirate theme. So let's go ahead and open them up and take a closer look at the character itself. So here's the figure out of box, and before we take a closer look at the figure, let's just examine these accessories real quick. So first comes with regular plain black base plate with a single peg that goes into one of either of his boots. So you can just peg him in there and have him stand on that. This actually comes in pretty handy when standing him up. I actually had some trouble standing him up how he is now. His other accessory, his sword hand. It's not super long, it feels, but I mean, it gets the job done. There's some slight silver dry brushing, but it's basically just black plastic. And the hand can be removed from the sword so that you can put it into his sheath right there. But the hand is basically the same type of detailing that you'll get on the figure's hand that he currently has, with just some painted on straps and some molded rings. And the figure itself, very impressive by Diamond Select Toys, getting in there with their small dry brushes and getting almost every square inch of the figure, it feels. The back of the trench coat, you can see it right there reflecting the light. It's very nice, looks weathered. The kind of dull gold kind of fits this aesthetic. The face on the figure looks nice. It's got some good pirate makeup. There's a small scar right there. And all the detailing and sculpting for the hair, it's very nice, especially with all these little shiny bits braided within the hair. You can't remove the hat, unfortunately, and have him holding that or throwing it or whatever. And the likeness, I mean, I can tell it's Jack Sparrow, but it's not really screaming Johnny Depp. I don't know how that's possible, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it. All the clothes underneath looks good, nicely layered. It doesn't look like it's all one piece, even though it is. The seam for the waist articulation is a little noticeable, but with all of the stuff that's going on, you can kind of just forget that. He does have his compass, which unfortunately is molded in with the rest of the plastic. If you've seen any of the movies, you know this is a very common object that gets held a lot, so unfortunately you can't put it in his hand and have him holding it. Down to the boots. Very nice. The coloring of the pants and the boots are almost identical in person. They seem kind of different on camera. I don't know if that's just the lighting or the dry brushing on the pants, but the painting is very similar. But maybe that's how it is in the movie. I don't exactly remember. But, yep, they look like pirate boots. I mean, it matches pretty much of what I imagine when I think of them on screen. So I think it's a very faithful depiction. Alright, so now let's move on to some of the articulation and see how this guy is posable. So the articulation, as it says on the box, 16 points. I can see that it's there, but it's quite limited. Just with all this going on and such heavy clothing and very thick plastic and molding, it's really hard to get those joints to move as far as they would. There's shoulder articulation, can bend back, but yeah, you just hear that it's very tight. Forward as well. Elbow joint, there's small little notches, so it's kind of like a ratchet joint. There's little places for it to go so that you can hold, but can go a good 90 degrees forward and about straight back, but still, man, those joints, they're tough. I'm afraid I'm going to break this guy. Head is on a ball joint, so he can look about that much to the side, a little bit more to the other side, up, not really, and down, a little bit more. There is an almost non-existent ab crunch here that's on a joint. You can see it moving, but it doesn't really do much when you try and bend it forward and backwards. The hands are on a peg that can turn with a, I don't think you can see, it's pretty well hidden, but there is a little joint for it to be bent as well, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Mainly you can just twist it to change the expression. The legs, knee joint, double knee joint, where you can try and bend it, but yeah, I'm afraid I'm just going to pop that peg out, so when I would bend it, I wouldn't bend it no more than that, really. And for the feet, you can bend, twist this much. Leg goes down about that much, and then up about that much. And there is an ankle pivot, which is nice. Kind of bend inward like that. Looks like he broke his ankle, but it's useful when attempting to put him in poses. So that's there. But, I mean, the articulation, it's not fantastic. I mean, he's a very expressive character, so I'm going to do my best to put him in some expressive poses. But just for displaying purposes, him just standing there as is, it's good enough for me. So overall, I give this figure 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, that might just be my personal bias for the movies and fan of the franchise, but when you just factor in the lack of accessories and the kind of difficult posability, other than that, it's still a great figure. It looks great, it gets the job done, it'll go great with any Pirates of the Caribbean display. So, I really like it. I'm sure anyone who buys it would also enjoy it. So, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, let me know what you think of the figure down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next review. See ya.